Another hot topic that's being discussed a lot is the carpooling. We have an issue here where MMDA are trying to promote carpooling with the HOV lane. And on the other hand, you have RA 4136, which is prohibiting the incentivizing. Is the LTFRB willing to just relax a little bit on those rules if we had a group that created policy for that?
Actually, I think it will be a long study to be undertaken, because strictly speaking, if you have some compensation with respect to carpooling, it will be illegal. It would never be carpooling, because in the first place, definition of public utility vehicle is that there is compensation. Be it sharing on gas, sharing on toll, it's still compensation. So again, if they want carpooling, I think there is one system. Let's say the five of us have cars, and each one of us take a car and take all of us each day.
Each day, take a turn.
And then take a turn.
Yeah.
No payments. But that's fine. That's no problem.
That's the old-fashioned way. What technology is allowing us to do is to pair us up like they do with Tinder on location. You're going this way, I'm going this way. Give me a ride.
Yeah, we can probably look into that, James. Currently, we're very limited to what is written in the law. As you mentioned, we have currently RA 4136 and also the Public Services Act, which provides franchises for this public transportation. So it's probably high time to possibly revisit these existing laws and maybe ask Congress and Senate if we can amend some of the portions on these laws. So we know that times has changed. Times has required that we need to be dynamic in our policies. So we can take a look into that matter. So what's the difference really between a private car versus a public transport taxi for that matter? The pricing and that taxi has insurance. Then possibly if we can just enforce some more regulations for this carpooling, then probably we can take a look at that proposal.
Okay, a very loose idea I have is to basically have it where we cap the number of trips per Waze user, right? So you can go to work and back, and that's it. So 2 trips.
That's good.
That's good, right? So now if you fill your car up with 4 people, and let's say you're going from Alabang to Makati, and Waze says, well, based on the agreed formula, like in the US, they use the IRS deductible per miles. That's a figure they came up with. And let's say we make that, it's 60 pesos per person. That's obviously nowhere near comparable to a taxi, even a P2P. So the commuter saves money. If he fills up his car with 3 or 4 people, he's only got 180, 240 pesos. That's just his toll, his gas, and parking. So you're not going to buy a car and make a business out of this. It's just not feasible. The power of technology is once you establish that network and it's working, there's nothing stopping us from selling sachet model insurance. It's done in some countries. There's a pilot of this. I say, okay, I'm going to ride with Mark and he's going to Alabang. And once I say, we agree, okay, pick you up. It comes up a third party. Would you like to insure this ride? This ride, just one ride, 12 pesos, 6 pesos or whatever. Because
insure per trip.
It's sachet model. Because it's on the app, or I'm feeling lucky today, I don't think anything's going to happen to me, it's now your choice. If anything happens, you made an active choice not to take insurance, but you have the capacity to take insurance. The exciting part of all this, and bear with me because this is what really keeps me up at night, is if you incentivize the carpooling in such a way where there's already a system, instead of the money, we can start slowly replacing it with incentives. And the incentives are, now that you have the RFID on the plates, we can now develop a road user identity, kumbaga. We don't really care who you are. We're not trying to get into your personal information, but what we're trying to do is we're trying to say, this is the behavior we're trying to influence. We want people to share their rides. We want people to obey the rules. Using the app, that can be transferred data into the RFID. So when you eventually build your gantries and you're driving along, it will recognize me like in the same way when I travel with my Mabuhay Miles. I get to use a premier lane because I travel more often than this person. The same type of thing, you get a tier based on the amount of times you shared your ride, based on the amount of times no tickets, etc. And now you can start using a carpooling lane. That's governed by an RFID, not by human beings, because that's going to cause more problems, stopping the car, checking, counting. but an RFID lane that is RFID activated based on your profile. When you remove the money side of it and you start giving a little road privileges, it starts to even equalize it, because the guy in the BMW or Mercedes may not think 200 pesos is not worth sharing my ride in privacy. Baka maano, di ba? But to maybe somebody who owns a much cheaper car, that's everything, because I'm saving on parking. The great equalizer is time. So we're all going to say, well, even the BMW owner or the Mercedes owner is going to go, how come they're all using that lane? And then, sir, kasi nag-share sila. Oh, maybe we should start doing that.
That's great, huh?